Welcome in sunny Belgium in Mol for the third round of the Intersratsen Trophy, the Belgian Championship Motocross. Very sunny conditions, as you can see here. And championship leader Ken de Decker is very happy about that. Ken, how was time practice? Well, it went very well. Maybe the track is still a bit too flat, but that will change in the course of the day. We've tried several solutions with setup, with the suspension especially. I think we found the right solution now. So the right setup is under the bike now. Yes, we've tested from 3 till 7 p.m. yesterday. So we've tried several solutions, and at the end we found the right solution. So I think we're ready for 3 good heats. Sean Simpson makes his comeback in the Belgian Championship on this Yamaha.
Sean, how was time practice for you?
Actually not too great. I had a problem with the bike, so we've had to change the engine now, and hopefully it should be better for the race. But anyway, the track looks really good. Seems to be a little bit deeper sand than last year. The start's a little bit different. I think it's quite a bit safer, so looking forward to today. 3 good starts, hopefully 3 good results with some top guys here, so looking forward to some good racing.
And one of the top guys in Mol is Tanner Leok on this Suzuki, second in the Belgian Championship.
Tanner, how was time practice for you?
I was okay. It was second right now, but yeah, that was just practice right now. The track is changing a lot, so we see for the race.
You see any way to improve?
Yeah, I can see the to improve, but we must see it comes hot day, and have to be clever also here.
Tanner Leok is ready for it then, and we're ready for the first heat, as is the massive crowd there in Mol. The good weather has drawn a lot of spectators to the Keiheuvel. Ken de Decker preparing his starting position. Maximilian Nagel, Max Nagel, his KTM teammate, is here as well, and he might help him for the Belgian Championship, taking away points from this man, Tanner Leok. Here Jonathan Barragan preparing some sandy rounds, which are coming up in the World Championship as well. And this is the ideal track for that. Getting ready for the start of the first heat, and off we go. And who takes the whole shot? It looks like it is Max Nagel. Yes, it is. Max Nagel takes the best start. And then it's Kevin Strebos, and then it's Ken de Decker in third. Good start from the KTM drivers there. Let's ride with Davide Guarneri on the KTM. He gets a bit slowed down there and loses a lot of places. He is about, what is it, 7th, 8th position. The Italian on the KTM. In front it's still Nagel from Strebos and de Decker. Leok hasn't taken a good start. He's about 7th, I think. Not a good start for the Suzuki driver. De Decker in 4th now, just behind Jeremy van Horebeek. Strebos in 2nd position behind Nagel. The German who has taken a good start, riding on the excellent track of the Keiheuvel in Mol. But he's not getting away with it. Strebos is right behind him. And right behind Strebos are Van Horebeek and de Decker. It's de Decker now in 3rd. He has passed Van Horebeek, and Strebos attacks Nagel. And then there's a bit of a gap. And who's in 5th now? It's Christophe Salat. Surprise. Good start there from Salat. Then it's Guarneri and Tanner Leok. They already have some gap to fill there. Top 3, Nagel, Strebos and de Decker. Van Horebeek had to let him go. End of the first lap. Good first lap from Maximilian Nagel, and then Strebos and de Decker fighting for 2nd. Van Horebeek on a solid 4th place. And Strebos and de Decker. De Decker looking for a gap to pass Strebos, but it won't be that easy. These guys know this track, of course. Have been around for a while now in the Belgian Motocross Championship. And it looks like the Dekker went on the outside there from Strebos, but he's still behind him. Or is he? No, he's in second place now. He's right behind Max Nagel. Strebos has to let go the leaders. And here is Nagel. And where is the Dekker? He's not to be seen. Strebos in third, I think. Nagel has been passed by Ken de Dekker. Indeed. It's a logical position as well, because Nagel is not here to take away points from de Dekker for the Belgian Championship. He is his teammate after all. Just here to prepare the rounds of the World Championship. Van Hoorbeek still in fourth. And he might be closing the gap to Kevin Strebos, who is in third now. A solid lead meanwhile for Ken de Dekker. Has 1 lap to go in this first heat. Nagel in second, but he's somewhat 10 seconds behind now. And then Strebos even further behind. So this is almost a lap of honor for Ken de Dekker. Going around the sandy track of the Keiheuvel. And his fans cheering him on. And it looks like de Dekker will take 25 points of this first heat win. Nice showmanship there from de Dekker. Likes to reward his fans who are waiting in the blistering heat there. Almost 30 degrees on the sandy Keiheuvel. End of the first heat then for Ken de Dekker. Takes the win from Max Nagel, who's 11 seconds behind. And then Strebos. And Van Hoorbeek crosses the line in fourth. But then there's a problem for Van Hoorbeek. He doesn't get his bike in time to Parc Fermé, and he's disqualified. So that means that Guarneri takes fourth and Tanner Leok takes the points of fifth place. End of the first heat then. And it was a good result for Kevin Strebos, who finished the heat in third. Kevin, how was that first heat for you? Well, I was second at the start, and then Ken passed me. I think Ken is quite a bit faster now for the moment. It's unfortunate that I couldn't pass Max, because halfway through the heat I had the feeling that I was quicker than him. Then I couldn't pass him, and I slowed down a bit at the end, because it's rather hot here, so it's good to save some energy for the next heats. So you're rather happy? Well, yes, it could be better, but I'm okay. Davide Guarneri was the fourth KTM in the top four, and the Italian is rather happy as well.
Davide, how was your first heat?
Yeah, it was good. I was happy because I'm not sand specialist, and this race is really nice, but it's really sandy. I start like 7, 8, and the first 2-3 laps I push a bit. I get in 5th position, and I had really good fight till the end with Tanner Leok, and we was battling good, clean and stuff, and I finished 5th. For me, it was really good results here. We are even 5 KTM in a row. I'm first rider knocked factory, also because Tanner is factory and the top rider are factory, and then I'm quite happy of that. And we'll see next 2 races will be tough. It's really hot days, especially for Belgium, and we will see.
Welcome back in Mol. Welcome back to the Belgian Motocross Championship. We're in the third round, and this is the second heat of that third round. Riders are preparing their starting positions, and they need some umbrellas because it's very hot on the Keiheuvel. Spectators looking for some shade as well, and we're off for that second heat. Who takes the whole shot? It's Max Nagel again. As in the first heat, the German KTM rider takes the whole shot from Kevin Strebos and Ken de Dekker, the same three as in the first heat. Good starting again from the KTM riders. And let's ride again from Davide Guarneri. Had not such a good start in the first heat, and it's not such a good start in the second heat as well. You see, well, somebody's down there. Looks like that was Van Hoorweg. And the Italian trying to make up some places right behind Mark de Reuver there with the 2-1-2. And now Ken de Decker is already attacking from the first lap. He doesn't have the intention to let go Max Nagel again. He has already passed Kevin Strebels. Jurgen van Noten in fourth. That's a good start as well from the young rider there. Strebels now following Nagel and de Decker already is past Max Nagel. Strebels right behind the German. And Ken de Decker already in the lead, looking for a second heat win. Trying to increase his championship position. With fifth place, Tanner Leok didn't score many points in the first heat. So Ken de Decker could do well here as well. But now Leok is performing a bit better. He's in fourth position, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, there he is, the yellow Suzuki. Right in front of de Reuver and Van Noten. And then it's Guarneri in seventh position. Just like in the first heat. Not such a good start for the Italian, but in the end he still finished in fourth. We'll have to find out what he does in the second heat. Tanner Leok attacking Kevin Strebels, wants to climb up the ladder. Van Noten has to let go the front runners, that's not a surprise. Jeremy Delands here. Spanish rider Jose Butron here to prepare some sandy rounds of the World Championship in MX2. Ken de Decker. Raining on the sandy track of Mol. Then Nagel and then Leok in third already. He has passed Kevin Strebels. And Mark de Reuver is in fifth. Let's see if Kevin Strebels can up the speed halfway through the heat again, like he did in the first heat. That will be very difficult because of the heat. Guarneri now trying to find a way past Jurgen van Noten. Max Nagel still in second position. Acting as a bit of a shock absorber between this man, Ken de Decker, and Tanner Leok. Trying to take away as many points as possible from the Suzuki rider, who has closed the gap to Max Nagel. But he will have to find a way past the German, and that will not be easy. Just ask Kevin Strebels. He tried that all the first heats long, and he didn't find a way past KTM. Leok now chasing Nagel. The gap between de Decker and Nagel is increasing every lap, so it looks like de Decker will take the second heat as well. But this is the most interesting duel in this second heat. Behind Leok, Strebels is a bit behind, and behind Strebels it's still Mark de Reuver. Some 2 minutes and a lap to go for de Decker. And Nagel still has a good advantage over Leok, so normally he should be able to finish in second place. Still some laps to go though. 25 minutes and a lap. That's the length of a heat in the Belgian Championship. And the lap here in Mol lasts about 50 seconds. Strebels consolidates his fourth position. Nagel and Leok still fighting for second place. The win will go to Ken de Decker probably. And will he have time to thank his fans again by showing off his skills? He's starting his last lap here. Oops, a bit of a mistake there. Did he hit something? Touches his left leg. Maybe it's just a problem with the boot. And Nagel and Leok. Last chance for Leok here. Is right behind Max Nagel. Might still have a chance. Oh, and there's a lapped rider. They both get around safely. It's David Coles. Ken de Decker. Only a couple of 100 meters away from the win. Let's see what he can do here. And that's Ken de Decker for you. Always good showmanship from the leader in the Belgian championship. Ken de Decker, last straight and second win of the day for Ken de Decker. And it's Tanner Leok in second. Tanner Leok has closed the gap and has passed Max Nagel. So he only loses 3 points on Ken de Decker in this heat. De Decker wins it from Leok, Nagel, Strebels in fourth and de Reuver in fifth. So some good results for Max Nagel, who is only here to prepare the World Championship rounds and also to help Ken de Decker if possible. With 2 hole shots and 2 podium finishes, he can be really happy.
Max, how was your second heat?
Oh, it was really good. I had a good start, hole shot. That's in the moment the most important for me. And then I was just riding like not too hard because yeah, Ken, he was behind me, he was faster, so I let him by for his championship. And then I was just riding easy because the heat is quite, it's really hot today. And the weekend with England, so I need to save some energy for England. That's why I didn't went too fast.
And even though it's very hot there in Mol, the riders still have to keep in shape in between the heats as well. Jeremy van Hoorbeek trains a bit on his bike.
Jeremy, hoe ging het in de tweede reeks?
Jeremy, how was the second heat for you? Well, I fell at the start, so I had to come back right from the back of the pack, but I still finished sixth. Yeah, I'm feeling happy right now. I'm riding a 350 here. I'm not very used to that bike, but still it's I still need some getting used to it. No, it's a good workout. I'm leaving for England tomorrow, so it's a good workout.
En met de hitte?
And what about the heat then? Well, it's warm, but it's warm for everybody, and it's good to have some nice weather here in Belgium. Off to the third heat then. Some riders prefer not to start, like Max Nagel, not wasting too much energy because they are heading for Great Britain for the British Grand Prix. Mark de Reuver suffering from the heat there, trying to get a good result in this third and final heat. And off we go, and who can take the whole shot in the absence of Max Nagel? It looks like it is Tanner Leok. Yes, he needs that good start. He needs a good result in this final heat, because with 2 wins, Ken de Decker has taken already a good deal of points added to his lead in the Belgian Championship. And let's ride with Davide Guarneri. He has some riders behind him now. It's a good start for the Italian. Takes the first corner in third position. He's even in front of Van Hoorbeek and Ken de Decker. So it's Tanner Leok from de Reuver in second, then Guarneri, then Van Hoorbeek on the 350 machine, which he lends from Cairoli nonetheless. And then it's Ken de Decker, Leok, de Reuver, Guarneri, and then de Decker, who tries on the outside on Van Hoorbeek, but for the moment it's still Jeremy Van Hoorbeek in fourth. And then the inside corner, and that's a good corner for de Decker. Christophe Salaats in sixth there, right behind Jurgen van Noten. And now Ken de Decker is heading for Davide Guarneri. Can he pass the Italian? There he comes on the inside. I think de Decker has passed Guarneri. Leok, de Reuver, and de Decker goes for second as well. Here comes Guarneri and Van Hoorbeek. A better start for Guarneri this time. Still, he's only in fourth. Leok, de Reuver, and where is de Decker? There he is. Oops. Van Hoorbeek almost lost the machine in the deep sandy tracks of the Keiheuvel in Mol. Tanner Leok still leading. And de Decker in second already. Has passed Mark de Reuver. So in this position, Leok only can grab back 3 points of his championship deficit. Deficit which is 30 points already after the second heat here in Mol. So he could reduce it to 27 if he stays in front of de Decker. But I'm pretty sure that de Decker wants to make it 3 out of 3 here in front of his fans. Van Hoorbeek still in 5th. Tanner Leok and Ken de Decker closing the gap towards the Suzuki rider. Can Kino de Dekker take his third win of the day? There he comes. Yes, he passes Tanner Leok. The Suzuki rider was a bit surprised there by seeing Kino de Dekker in front. And the fans cheering. Still some laps to go though. If they can keep up the same speed as in the first two heats, there's still some 5 laps to go. This third heat as well, 25 minutes and a lap. And he's riding away from Tanner Leok. This should be a 3 out of 3 for de Dekker. But the Suzuki rider doesn't let him go that easily. Mark de Reuver on a solid third place for the moment. Lost it halfway through the race to Davide Guarneri, but then took it back. And here's de Dekker, and is that Leok in front of him? Or is it just a lap rider? It's just a lap rider. Leok still in second, the gap still remains the same. De Reuver in third. Lapping Steven England there with the number 39. Ken de Dekker heading for home. And heading for his third win of the day. And an overall win in Mol. Even by finishing second, he would take the overall win. But he wants to do it in style by taking 3 heat wins. But the advantage to Tanner Leok is still not that big, and even Leok is in front of him now. De Dekker must have made a mistake somewhere. And he's now behind the Suzuki rider. It won't be a third win of the day. Tanner Leok is heading for that win. Only a couple of laps to go now. We're in the final minutes of the heat, final minutes and the lap. And the Dekker's fans are a bit surprised in seeing the Suzuki rider in front of their hero. And Tanner Leok, maybe he coped a bit better with the heat. And Ken de Dekker, temperatures around 30 degrees there. And yes, the gap between Leok and de Dekker becomes bigger and bigger. I think de Dekker is now just heading for home, taking the points of second place, taking the overall win. He still has 27 points in hand if it stays like this until the end. And that's a big enough gap to leave Mol. Tanner Leok, the end of the third heat, takes the win. Good result for the Suzuki rider. Can be very happy with that. Ken de Dekker takes second. And Jeremy van Hoorbeek managed to pass Mark de Reuver in the final lap to take third in this third and final heat in Mol. And the fans very happy with the spectacle they've witnessed. Leok then takes the win in the final heat from de Dekker, van Hoorbeek, de Reuver and Guarneri. And in the overall results, de Dekker takes the win from Leok, de Reuver, Guarneri and Max Nagel. So the final heat win went to Tanner Leok. Reduced his deficit to the championship lead to 27 points, and he's very happy with that.
Tanner, can you tell us about the third heat?
Yeah, I took a good start. I was leading and Ken passed me and tried to follow him, and I felt good, so in the end he let me a little bit pass, so I take a win, so I'm happy.
Tanner Leok is happy, but the happiest man is of course Ken de Dekker, who takes the overall win.
Ken, hoe ging het in de derde heat?
Ken, how was that third heat for you? Well, it was a bit tough. I was a bit tired and I had some blisters on my hands, and it was, yeah, just control the race until the end. It was a tough day. So still happy after the day? Yes, of course. We made some big improvements on the suspension yesterday, and it went very well today. So Champagne then for Ken de Decker. He's increased his points lead with 9 units. He now has 27 points in hand on Tanel Leok. Next round, the end of August in Orp. We hope we can see you there and that the weather is as nice as here. Bye.